As the environment surrounding Japan has been changing dramatically, the SDF are increasingly required to function by the means of the Joint Operational Structure, in which the ground, maritime, and air forces integrate their powers to quickly and effectively carry out the SDF's diversifying missions. Joint operation means that the GFDF, MSDF, and ASDF integrate their powers in order to quickly and effectively carry out their missions. Then why is it necessary to develop the Joint Operational Structure? That is because the environment surrounding the self-defense forces is different from the past. Firstly, the advance of science technology greatly changed today's operational environment. The range of SDF activities has been expanded. Their operations have become more complicated and speedy. Second, expectations of citizens for the SDF have been larger as the activities of the SDF have become diversified. Therefore, it was necessary to strengthen the joint operational structure based on the three viewpoints: quick and effective response through integrated operations by the self-defense forces, unified assistance to the Ministry of Defense from the standpoint of military expertise, and improvements of the effectiveness of the Japan-U.S. security arrangements. Now, let's take a look at the United Nations mission in the Republic of South Sudan, AMIS, based on the International Peace Cooperation Law, which is the latest example of the joint operation activities. The Republic of South Sudan is located in the east-central part of the African continent. The territorial area is about 1.7 times that of Japan, and it has a population of about 10.31 million. After the civil war between South and North Sudan, which lasted over 20 years, followed by a 6-year period under the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, South Sudan became an independent nation on July 9, 2011. In response to the independence of South Sudan, the United Nations mission in the Republic of South Sudan, AMIS, was formulated based on the United Nations Security Council resolution being adopted on July 8, 2011, with the mission aiming to provide the world's newest country with a nation-building support. The significance of the dispatch of the SDF personnel to South Sudan is that they will make major contributions through human cooperation, such as the development of infrastructure, which will encourage and give hope to the South Sudanese, as well as support their nation-building activities. Also, their participation in the AMIS is a good opportunity to demonstrate the SDF's high capabilities in international cooperation and to rise the credibility of Japan in the international community. What are the roles of FDF personnel dispatched in South Sudan? The SDF personnel dispatched to South Sudan are working as AMIS headquarters personnel, engineering company personnel, and coordinating center staff. The deployment of units and transport of equipment and materials to South Sudan was carried out smoothly through a combination of the capacity of civilian sector transport and the ASDF transport aircraft. A total of 3 SDF personnel have been dispatched to the headquarters in Juba, with 2 personnel serving as an intelligence officer and a logistics officer since November 2011, and 1 personnel serving as an engineer officer since February 2012. Since January 2012, the South Sudan Engineer Company, which consists of about 330 GSDF personnel, has been dispatched to South Sudan, with the dispatch being conducted 3 consecutive times, and each unit served for about a half a year. The dispatch engineer units in Juba have been carrying out activities such as the construction of an encampment, site preparation within the UN facility, repair of roads outside the UN facility, and site development for an international organization facility. For the time being, the engineer unit will carry out engineer works such as repair of roads in and around Juba, the capital city of South Sudan. The Coordination Center is a unit specializing in coordinating the various activities concerning the UN mission, and was established for the first time in the history of the PKO activities, as well as the self-defense forces. The Coordination Center in Juba has carried out coordination and consultations among the United Nations, the South Sudanese government, NGO, and other relevant organizations regarding their activities of the Engineer Unit to implement practical approaches contributing to nation-building activities in South Sudan. Since June 2012, the Engineer Unit has conducted site development and built planned facilities for refugee way station of UNHCR, and the facilities were handed over. This is the first activity in cooperation with a United Nations organization. Thus, in the future, the Coordination Center is expected to cooperate with such parties as international organizations as needed, and we believe such cooperation will better contribute to activities for local community. It has been 7 years since the self-defense forces have adopted joint operations in earnest. The SDF joint operations are highly praised domestically and internationally in anti-piracy operations and operations on the Great East Japan earthquake. Based on past experience and accomplishments, the Ministry of Defense and self-defense forces will strive to improve the way we engage in joint operations.